Okay, we're going to talk about finding the net price of an item when you have a chain of discounts. Now, a chain of discounts is when something has been reduced once and it's reduced yet again. So, for example, this discount was 15% off, and then they reduced it again 20% off of that price, and finally 35% off of that price. Now, notice when you do these, it does not mean 35% plus 20% plus 15%. That is not how it works. It's multiplication. You may also see the chain of discounts written with dashes, 35, 20, 15. So first 15% off, 20% off of that, and 35% off of that. Okay, so one way we could do this is take 15% off the original price, subtract it to find our new price. Then do 20% of that, subtract it to find our new price, and finally take 35% off, subtract to find our new price. But that takes a long time and it requires a lot of writing and concentration. So here is an easier way to do it. If you use complements, which remember is taking a percent and subtracting from 100 to find its complement, you can just go ahead and find out what the total net price rate is. You're finding out what percent you're paying instead of what percent you have off. So to find the net price rate, this is the percent overall you get off in the end. You do the product, which means multiply, of the complements of the chain discount rates. So in this case, if we wanted to find our net price rate, and it was 35%, 20%, and 15%, we take 0.35, or excuse me, we take the complements of those. So the complement of 15%, okay, so if you get 15% off, what are you paying? That's what we mean by complement, is the amount you're paying instead of the amount you get off. So that's 85%. Our 20% off, if you get 20% off, what percent are you paying? 80%. And if you get 35% off, what percent are you paying? 65%. Okay, so if you're doing it this way, the first thing you do is find the complement of each of your rates. Change each of them to decimal form. Okay, and then multiply them together. So we take 0.65 times 0.8 times 0.85, and that will give us our net price rate. This will give us the rate that if we multiply it by our original price, it will give us our answer. So here's our net price rate is 0.442, so basically 44.2%. Then if we had a price, we could actually say, okay, how much are we paying? We would take the price times that rate. So let's do an example down here. The list price, that's the price that you would normally pay, of a stove is $278. The chain discount is $30.15. What is the final net price? So first we're going to find our net price rate. Okay, we're going to do that by multiplying the two complements together. So again, if you get 30% off, what percent are you paying? You're paying 70%. So that's our first 0.7 is our first one. And then 15% off, if you get 15% off, what are you paying? Did that one up above, you're paying 85%. So 0.85. Okay, we're going to use this to find our net price rate. And when we do, we get, okay, let me find my spot on the page, 0.595. Okay, so that is our net price rate. That's what we'll multiply by the list price to find the net price. The net price is the amount you pay. Okay, so our net price, we're supposed to take the list price, which in this case was $278, times our net price rate of 0.595. And when you do, you get $165.41. So that is the amount the person would actually pay for a stove that was originally $278 if they got 15% off and then 30% off. Alright, the list price of Finch electric iron is $84. The company is offering a chain discount of 20% less 12%. Okay, what is the final net price of the iron? Well, first we're going to find our rate. Okay, so we find the complements of each of these. So if you get 12% off, what percent are you paying? You take it from 100, and you're paying 88%. The other discount was 20%. So if you are getting 20% off, what percent are you paying? Well, 80%. So to find our rate, we change both of those to decimals. Okay, so move the decimal over 2 places. So we're going to have 0.88 times 0.8. That will give us our rate. Our rate is 0.704. Okay, now let's find our net price. The price originally was $84. We multiply that by the net price rate of 0.704. And we get $59.14 would be the final net price of that iron.